Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Taylor will refuse to let her chance at happiness with Ridge slip through her fritters. Now that Taylor eventually has Ridge back, she doesn't want anything getting in the way of their unborn together, especially not Brooke. Taylor is obviously concerned about the covetousness that Nick's return has stirred up for Ridge. It's clear that Ridge is way too defensive when it comes to Brooke, so Taylor's getting rattled. That's why Taylor will do some brainstorming soon and come up with a plan to lock in this renewed Ridge chapter. Taylor will compass a life-changing ambush that she hopes will end with her engagement. Taylor have some tone respect. Rather, they're setting the stage for Taylor's humiliating fiancé trap. Taylor will get her hands on a ring and plan to present it to Ridge over a mess at Il Giardino. It looks like Taylor will hope that by rushing Ridge to the balcony, he'll forget about Brooke and concentrate on her rather. Taylor might also hope that an engagement will legitimize their relationship and shoot a clear communication to Brooke about backing off Ridge. It's disturbing to watch Taylor go to these lengths to keep Ridge down from Brooke. To make matters worse, Ridge is going to have an uncomfortable response to Taylor popping the question. Once Taylor moves ahead with her scheme in the coming occurrences, Ridge may have some reservations about tying the knot. Nick will spot the offer when it eventually plays out, so he'll have some news to report to Brooke sooner or laterly. Carter may rise to the challenge now that Steffi has pushed him to get Hope past her Daphne issues. Hope and Carter indeed have further Daphne-related conversations ahead, whether this will lead to Daphne's comeback. Brooke dropped some paperwork by Eric Mance, which gave her a chance to cross paths with Taylor. Taylor took the occasion to mention Nick and what she assumed was an affable surprise visit for Brooke. Although Taylor played Nick's great timing and the possibility of his Brooke reunion, Brooke was more interested in talking about Ridge covetousness. At Forrester Creations, Steffi let Carter smell Daphne's Reremost cologne sample and stressed the significance of bringing her back to LA. Ridge agreed as he showed up and joined the discussion. Although Carter mentioned hope for the future and hoped it could be revived, Steffi wasn't ready to commit to that yet. Talk turned back to Daphne, so Steffi refocused out that Carter was engaged to Hope now. Steffi didn't suppose Daphne would pull anything, so she prompted Carter to help Hope get past what happened with her. After Carter got a textbook, he said Hope wanted to see him and took off. Ridge spoke with Steffi alone about catching Brooke with Nick, so Steffi's eyes chivied out allowing the hassle was a passionate bone. It compactly brought a libelous misreading. Ridge clarified that it was just a discussion, but he was upset about Nick breaking Brooke's heart and sailing off again. Steffi snappily picked up on Ridge's covetousness and upset about the communication that he was transferring Taylor. At Il Giardino, Deacon respected Hope's engagement ring, but he wondered if she was sure about marrying Carter. Hope claimed she was and tried to vent Cleric on Carter being a good man. Cleric was happy if Hope was happy, but he still had some enterprises and brought up Carter's kiss with Daphne. Carter showed up allowing Hope wanted to see him, but Deacon claimed he was the one rather. Cleric demanded to get commodity off his casket and talked about how important his son's happiness was to him. Carter wanted happiness for Hope too, so Deacon advised him not to squinch up again and shook his hand. After Carter talked about his life being deficient without Hope, he flashed back to Steffi's pressure to get Hope past her Daphne torments. Hope and Daphne's contest could reignite and lead to some stunning news. Poppy has been bothered about the trouble Luna poses. Sheila induced Poppy that Steffi was in peril, so Poppy may want to check in with John Finn again soon. Poppy stopped by Finn's office before, but she could just as fluently visit the Precipice house this time around. Maybe Poppy will show up and ask Finn if there have been any other Luna-related incidents she should know about. That's when Poppy might spot Hayes Finnegan's origami crane hard. Hayes could leave the crane nearly in the house and pave the way for Poppy to notice it. There's always been a lot of talk about Poppy working at trades and crafts carnivals when Luna was growing up. Luna is enough professed at origami and presumably learned it from her mama. Origami may have been a major gift and hobby horse for Luna when she was youngish. That's why it could set off some alarm bells if Poppy sees that origami crane in Finn and Steffi's home. Poppy could pick that crane up and nervously ask about it. Finn might explain how it's all Hayes can talk about ever since some nice lady gave it to him. Poppy could be the one to figure out that Luna has been interacting with Hayes and giving him presents. Perhaps Poppy will warn Finn to the dangerous situation after connecting this origami to Luna. Poppy might indeed flash back that origami cranes were Luna's favorite thing to make or commodity along those lines. Whatever the case, Poppy stands the stylish chance of putting the mystification pieces together then. Poppy's implicit discovery and consummation could come too late. Sunshine might formally be guest tutoring and making her coming move with Hayes by also. Hayes could end up kidnapped, and the same goes for Steffi if Hayes is used to trap her in the coming B&B occurrences. Anyhow, it'd be delightful to see Poppy play a part in the Luna drama ahead, so stay tuned for updates on any stunning news she might deliver. Luna will do some deranged effects as this plot heats up. Nick shoot his shot, Luna stalking her family, and Liam growing more and more panicked. Brooke threw her inhibitions out the window and melted into Nick's arms. The sparks were flying and the heat reached scorching situations, and Brooke wasn't sure what to do with herself after all that. Nick knew she was pulling down because of Ridge and called her out on it. Doesn't she want true love? Yes. Doesn't she want to be adored? Yes. Does she want a man who's hers and only hers? Well, of course. But Brooke went quiet when he refocused out Ridge wasn't about to fulfill her needs. But he would. Brooke opened up about not knowing a life without Ridge. She was deeply in love with the man, and despite it all, she still wanted him every moment of every day. Nick understood. She thinks Ridge is her fortune, but what if she's wrong? What if her fortune is standing right in front of her? Nick touted himself as the perfect man for her and took her on a trip down memory lane to the day they wed. That left Brooke speechless. Meanwhile, at the Forrester manse, Taylor pushed for the verity from Ridge. How does he really feel about Brooke? Ridge admitted he'll always watch about Brooke, sure, but his future isn't with Brooke, it's with Taylor. Taylor, who he's head over heels madly in love with. That pleased the good croaker. To no end. He promised her he wouldn't fall for his partner's love games and also asked her if his word wasn't enough. Taylor was happy with Ridge. Veritably happy. But, she admitted that Brooke felt like a brewing peril to their love. She'll be stewing for Ridge until her last breath. Ridge hoped that wasn't true. He hoped Brooke would find a love of her veritably own. With that, he and Taylor promised each other to not let Brooke come between them. Ridge also took off for the office, where he was surprised to see Nick over near and particular with Brooke. Over at the Sand House, little Hayes was super agitated about his summer art program. He participated his excitement with Steffi, and they had a good laugh about him chancing jewels and ocean glass. Across the room, Finn formally again assured Liam he'd everything under control. He wasn't going to allow Luna anywhere near his family. Steffi joined in the discussion and also prompted Liam to get Luna off his mind. Fussing would get them nowhere. Plus, Steffi was sure that Finn had it all handled. In true Liam fashion, none of that stopped him from scarifying. All the chatter stopped when the rest of the kiddies and schoolteacher came by. Steffi and Finn kissed their little boy farewell and let him know Electra would be picking him up. That was great news to Hayes, and he happily got to coloring and learning all about the sand, and looking forward to his autumn with Electra. The triad went home and tried to keep effects positive. Hayes was happy. The Spencer schoolhouse was a great way for him to spend the summer, and all was good at least for moment. Liam, still, couldn't and wouldn't let up. He was obsessing over Luna and the peril she could bring to their lives, and he was right to fear. Oh, boy, was he right. What no bone. Knew as Luna was still outside with her handy Beau Brummel telescope keeping tabs on her father and family's every move. She looked back on Steffi formally again booting her from Finn's life and the showdown over calling Hayes her family. With every flashback and peep at Hayes, Luna came more and more deranged.